Sean Dekmar here from DekmarTrades.com. We just wrapped up a huge day on MGT and its $1 breakout. $1 breakouts are one of our key breakout patterns that we look for here at DekmarTrades.com, and traders absolutely banked off it. Not only are $1 breakouts consistent, but they are predictable and they are profitable. We alerted this at an entry price of 101, sell target of 125, and absolutely nailed it perfectly. Shout out to the team members that are putting in the work and absolutely just killing it. $4,309 in profit. Shorty Long, shout out to you, $800. $579. D. Rodriguez in at $1, out at 127. Absolutely huge. We just want to say congratulations to the traders in chat who have been working hard and are profiting off these easy setups. Enjoy this video recap of MGT and its $1 breakout. So we have MGT right now currently testing $1, hit a high of the day of 103, buy alert at 101, and we are looking to see if this stock could be, the next big move. It has not been over $1 since September 2014. This is where we could see a ton of hype, a ton of volume, and a ton of ripping going on. So MGT picking up shares at 101. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it is worth picking it up, guys. It is, worth putting in some shares and just seeing how high this could potentially rip. Again, $1 doesn't usually, the $1 is the strongest resistance line. So when we break $1, we usually see some very big rips, and we are seeing a lot of activity on the stock right now, and we could definitely see a near pop in the near future on MGT, as this is over 101 now. It's currently at 102. This has not been this high in over 2 years, which is insane. A huge amount. It has not been over this mark in over 2 years, and that's why we're thinking, you possibly want to just pick up some shares just for the chance. It has a lot more high reward than risk. Being over $1 is such a hard task to do for a penny stock. It's the hardest resistance line there is. And breaking over $1 is such a huge thing to do. And for this stock to break over $1 is going to bring in a ton of activity, a ton of volume, and a ton of hype. And I want you guys to realize that we were up to 104. I do think we can definitely see this thing pop on over again, and possibly really run very good. So we do just want to be aware that this $1 break can happen. Very nice morning short this morning, but has been slowly just been climbing ever since on MGT. And if this breaks $1, again, this could be absolutely huge. So we are watching that. Your eye should honestly be on MGT, as MGT has full on a huge possibility, guys, to get some rips. And I definitely think it is worth picking up some shares for the possible high reward for the stock. Just being at the 101 mark is an incredible sign for a stock that has not been over this area in over 2 years. So I think it is definitely worth picking at least a few shares for a possible big time $1 break than letting this pass. I think breaking over $1 is a huge accomplishment for a stock, especially as it hasn't done this in over 2 years. This is a huge accomplishment, guys, for a penny stock. And if it can just get off that $1 mark and really start picking up a little bit, we can see a lot of volume come in, and we can see this thing rip very big. I do want to switch back to the 1 minute chart just to get a better understanding of looking at this $1 break. And just looking at this $1 break, we can definitely see a lot of activity, a lot of hot volume. I do just want to see if we can get a nice volume pop coming in. So we are looking for a possible breakout coming up right probably when power hour starts, maybe 15 minutes or so, to see if this can run and break past $1. So keep on high alert, guys. We have power hour approaching pretty soon, but right now we do have overall MGT holding this trend line, this overall trend line on the stock right now, just moving its way on up. Hopefully we can see a $1 break. That's ideal, that we want to see that $1 break. That would be awesome to see. But we want to see MGT break $1. And again, that $1 break can lead to a huge amount of profiting. Hasn't been over $1 break in 2 years. This is where, $1 is the strongest resistance line in penny stocks. The strongest resistance line in penny stocks. And if we can break it and run, this can run up all the way up towards 190 or even beyond. I put in the MGT 2-year chart to show last time it was above $1, Last time it was above $1, really, it ran all the way up towards around 190, and then it slowly has been downtrending ever since. Finally, it got a new CEO and now has popped basically straight back up, and now retesting this $1 mark. Retesting $1, we could see a pretty big breakout. So we will definitely see, what's going to be happening, and I guarantee, MGT is going to be active tonight as well, and into pre-market tomorrow. MGT, nice low float. Same thing with CCXI. Again, we're getting these nice rips. How are we getting them? The nice low float, guys. We talk about this a lot. The nice low floats is what you want to keep your eyes on. Even HEAR, even CAFN, even CAS, ONTX. The top 6 stocks right now are from low floats. Again, we don't want to get into stocks, that we see in pre-market that have 100 million in float, 60 million in float. Keep it as low as possible, as these are the stocks that are going to rip. And that's why we look for low float stocks, as they are the ones that are going to rip. CCXI, ripped almost $2 today. Absolutely huge. And that's because CCXI had, the momentum. It had the hot momentum, and it had the low float. The float is the shares offered to the public. A high demand with something that is limited causes a huge spike, causes chaos, and gets huge rips. And that's exactly what we want. But same thing with MGT, 11 million in float. If this breaks $1 and this starts taking off, we can see a huge pop, a huge opportunity to make huge profit. So I definitely don't want you guys to miss that. And that's what we're looking at right now. So here we go, guys. We have MGT back over $1 right now, as this can really take off pretty soon. MGT back over $1. You guys have to be on high alert right here, as this can definitely, continue to move up. Has not been over $1 within the last 2 years, and this is where we can see some big time plays, and I'm very excited, honestly, to see where this is going to go. I'll be right here with you guys, walking you through this play. Again, that 101 entry, and it just has such high potential. It would be wrong not to just pick up some sort of shares, just because as such, such a high potential. Especially if it breaks this 104 mark, we can definitely see, this thing absolutely rip. Getting back to 104 is such a great thing as well. Over 102, we have nearly all eyes on this stock, as I'm sure, over $1 now, we're also going to bring in a ton of volume, and, a lot more activity, especially as Power Hour is here, and we are looking to see exactly what this stock can do, as we are approaching 104. But again, over $1, this stock has such high potential, and I suggest at this $1 mark, definitely picking up some sort of shares, whatever that may be, just because it definitely has, high potential to rip. I love $1 breaks. I love them because they're so huge and so big to find, and can lead to such big breakouts, that I definitely just want you guys to be aware of all the great possibilities of a $1 breakout. And that is, what we're seeing right now on MGT. We're only 5 cents up above that 101 alert, but it has so much potential. I just want you guys to be aware of that. Nice low float. 108 is right along coming up. And we just want to, break out above 108, get a nice rip, and get a lot of people buying this stock, and just, get a nice big climb. It's at currently 102, 103 at the moment. And we're going to see if this is going to, pop back on up. $1, as tough as $1 is to break over, $1 should hold up as a support line as well. Guys, you look at the overall trend line, we are still on the bullish side of the trend line. We are still on this bullish side of the trend line, so make sure you guys realize that. But MGT is having a little bit of pullback. 108 high of the day, looking for a break. So guys, we have MGT starting to hit a new high of the day. Thank you guys. MGT up towards 110 now, as this thing is continuing to move up. MGT continuing to climb, 112 high of the day, finally starting to get our pop, and we are just sitting back from that 101 alert, just sitting back on it and waiting for, profit to continue to rack in. We are the longer we go into Power Hour, the more active the stock is going to come. And now that we're seeing that we actually have a very strong uptrend, we could be seeing the stock really rip. And it is great to see nice low float of 11 million. Again, Why is the stock popping off? It's because it came up to $1. You know, $1 is the strongest resistance line in penny stocks. Breaking $1 is absolutely huge. And now MGT, you know, has such huge potential to just continue to go, continue to climb. And if it closes with strong momentum, it has a potential to be such a great swing trade as well. As MGT is just, we are sitting back from 101 and just letting this, you know, do its thing. Let activity come in and let this try to continue to get pushed up. I'm not expecting this to go straight up. I'm expecting this to have some pullbacks, some nice spikes. So guys, right now, new high of the day, 117 on MGT. Not doing anything more than just sitting back on MGT and just letting these profits rack up. You know, just sitting back on MGT right now and just watching these profits just continue to climb, continue to rack up as we are continuing to bring in more activity. You know, this is all from a $1 breakout, guys. This is all from a $1 breakout. And I do think we're probably going to have a little bit of a pullback, and we're probably going to, you know, keep moving up. We usually just don't stop at 117. If anything, it'll stop at 120. You know, 117 is kind of an odd number for it to end the day at, or a high of the day. It won't be probably 117. It'll probably be, you know, 118, 119, 120. So, you know, a little bit of pullback, but I think this will keep going on up. And really, this is all just from the $1 breakout, guys. I want you guys to be aware of this, as we are just basically sitting back and just letting our profits just rack up right now. You know, this is absolutely huge. I do think, you know, we might get a small little pullback. No big deal. So I would keep my eyes right now on MGT coming back up to the high of the day. Again, guys, stocks have pullbacks. It's nothing to panic about. We're 1 cent away from our high of the day. It came all the way back down to 109. This is a time to maybe lock in a quarter of your profits if you want to. But, you know, that would be the smart thing to do. But, you know, it's okay that stocks have pullbacks. You know, right when it went from 117 to 109, you know, I had about 4 to 5 people come in one-on-one chat, and they just say, hey, you know what, you know, is it time to sell? I think this is going back to $1. You know, no, it's absolutely fine, guys. You know, stocks have pullbacks, and you have to learn that, you know, just because it's a pullback doesn't mean that it's done. You know, it doesn't mean that it's crashing. We're at the high of the day right now. We have 15 minutes left. This is where we're going to have, you know, a nice end of the day spike probably if this does break the high of the day. We're at 117 right now. Because it fell down to 109 doesn't mean that the stock's done. You know, we want to have a pullback, then break high of the day. Pullback, break high of the day. If we just have pullback, then yeah, you know, that doesn't look good whatsoever. But, you know, if we're just having a pullback after hitting the high of the day, that's absolutely fine. It's at 117 right now. It looks like a high of the day coming up. 3 sellers left at 117 before we can move on up to 118. 3 sellers left. Got to take them out. 2 sellers left. There's the new high of the day, 118. So we are moving up pretty nicely right now. New high of the day, 118 at the moment. So we are bringing in a lot of volume. Again, this is where I was saying we are going to probably run up. I said we are not going to close at 117. You know, we're up to 120 right now. We have 7 minutes left. Well, we'll see if we can get a breakout above 120, hopefully up towards around that 125 mark. You know, that's our sell target, 125. You know, I'm still sitting. I'm sitting tight right now as I want to see 125. Awesome alert from 101. Entry price or exit price 125. It did hit 125 high of the day. I am personally done with this trade.